Aki Hayakawa shows us what happens when complete powerlessness leads to an insatiable thirst for revenge. This is a man in a constant uphill battle, a never-ending fight of him trying to have hope for the future while being haunted by the memory of how his family was annihilated right in front of his eyes. His enemy, his North Star, is the Gun Devil, a being of pure destruction with no goal other than wiping out everything in its path. While on this journey, Aki becomes less and less human, sacrificing parts of himself both mentally and physically in order to get closer to his goal of killing the Gun Devil. Tonight, we'll discuss Aki's complex mental state and how his biggest weakness is actually his greatest strength. At first, Aki seems like a very straightforward guy. He goes into work, does his job, he don't say too much. He really quiet for real unless he know you. You wouldn't be wrong to see him as some Sasuke clone or some edgy side character archetype. But what makes Aki interesting is the contrast between his words and his actions. The fact that his tough outer shell is protecting this lonely, self-sacrificial kid who just wants a family. Similar to Denji, Aki doesn't have any family, but unlike Denji, Aki sees himself as an avenger. His purpose is to kill the Gun Devil, and I mean, it's understandable. This ain't some blind revenge quest. Aki is the sole survivor of his family, left to create meaning out of his own life at just 8 years old. Of course his main goal in life is to kill the Gun Devil. Of course he hates devils, but it's how he acts despite hatred that makes him one of the most interesting characters in the entire story. Aki at his core is a protector, a big brother. And as a protector, you gotta have the means to protect what's important to you. You have to be strong, and Aki is strong. He's intelligent and he has this insane drive, this passion. But he's missing something very, very important. Something that, according to Kishibe, who's the self-proclaimed strongest devil hunter, it's the most important quality in a devil hunter. Aki isn't crazy enough. He's too sane, he's too straightforward. He's treating this like some video game where you just go from level 1 to 2 to 3 and so on and so forth. Nah, that's not how it works in this world. We know that. The more Gun Devil pieces that Aki collects, the closer he gets to a calamity. The Gun Devil can wipe out an entire city in seconds by just passing through. There is no linear path to reaching that level of power. As we know, Aki isn't working alone. He has Himeno, Denji, Power, and the rest of the special division. Himeno was his first partner, his mentor actually, and we're gonna talk about her a little bit later. For now, let's focus on the big three: Aki, Denji, and Power. You see, Makima paired Denji with Aki because she trusted that he'll keep Denji in check. They clash immediately. Denji's carefree attitude is in complete contrast to everything that Aki stands for. All Aki knows is learning things the hard way. That's why he takes him to the alley and tries to beat some sense into him. He doesn't necessarily hate Denji, but if he's gonna be partnered with him, he can't have him throwing himself into the belly of the beast. Actually, you know what? That's a lie. I'll take that back. Aki genuinely hated Denji. Look, he spit on him, bro. Like, what? Denji just beat some sense into him and then he locked in right after that. But nah, Aki did not like Denji at all, bro. He had to get humbled. In his mind, being vigilant is how Aki stayed alive. But Denji's very existence challenges that, doesn't it? I mean, by all accounts, Denji shouldn't be here. He was some random homeless kid paying off the debts of his father. He was sick, sharing a slice of bread with his dog in a shed. I sound like Dr. Seuss. Denji actually did die. Only difference is he was saved by Pochita because he believed in Denji that much. Denji is alive through sheer force of will, not tact, not vigilance, not some quest for answers or revenge. Aki loses this little back alley brawl against Denji because it was a clash of ideals and Denji's was just stronger. But this isn't the last time that they have this sort of like clash of ideals. When we get introduced to Power, she really sets the tone for what Makima is trying to do with the special division. Neither one of these two is fully devil nor human. Denji has the heart of a devil and Power has the mind of one. Power manipulates Denji and is literally willing to kill him to get her cat back. By this logic, Aki should have immediately asked for Power to get removed from his squad. She's somehow a bigger liability than Denji, but this is where Aki's protectiveness comes in. He sees Denji as a comrade, and if he reported Power, Denji would get in trouble too. And Makima said it herself, bad dogs get euthanized. You ain't going to jail, bro, you going to hell. So he lets this slide, and this marks the beginning of Aki losing his edge. Like I hinted at earlier, Aki's edge is what kept him alive for this long. Every move he makes is tactical. He has routines, he trains, his every move is intentional. But the Eternity Devil fight is where we really see Aki's other side. The mask slips off, and Aki throws himself into the heart of the flame to protect his dear friend. Now let me set the scene. This ugly, disgusting, freaky devil trapped all of these people inside of the 8th floor of this hotel. For the first time in the story, we see our characters fighting an existential threat, the fear of eternity. This entire group is slowly losing their sanity while trapped in this hotel for, eternity. And the key to their escape is sitting right there. All they have to do is kill Denji and they can leave, allegedly. You see, this is where Aki's cool-headed nature actually comes in super clutch. Because while everybody else is panicking and they want to sacrifice Denji, Aki knows just how evil and conniving devils can be. He's like, wait, if they want Denji, that must mean that there's something in it for them. So there's no way we sacrificing Denji. Denji stays alive. That's it. End of story. Aki will work with devils, but there's no way in hell he's gonna let one get the upper hand on him. Absolutely not. So he says something. He's like, you know what? Since we're not sacrificing Denji, if it comes down to it, I might have to use the sword. Himeno did not like that. And it's basically a one shot, right? You just got to hit them 3 times and that's it. Like, the enemy is cooked. Only downside, and this is a big one, it significantly decreases his lifespan whenever he uses it. That's crazy. Unfortunately for Denji, he's the new guy, so they don't really care about sacrificing him. They only care about Aki for real. While the devil is closing in, Himeno uses her ghost to hold Aki back. Kobeni and this guy go after Denji, try to take him out. Power sitting in the back laughing, everybody screaming, and then Denji is half devil. His wounds can easily be healed with a little bit of blood. He has chainsaws coming out of his head as his main ability. Aki is not as fortunate. He is a regular human with a few devil contracts. There was no real reason for him to do this. Denji would have been fine if he got stabbed. The leadership and brotherly love that Aki showed in this moment is what makes this sequence so impactful. Himeno's reaction to all this really stood out to me though. Given her reputation, I didn't expect her to be the overprotective type. But in her final moments, it all really starts to make sense. In the Katana Man fight, Himeno sacrifices herself for Aki's sake. Her ghost takes body parts from her depending on how much of its power she uses. So in order to kill Katana Man, she calls upon as much power as she possibly can, completely vanishing in the process, leaving nothing but her clothes in the spot that she was standing. In her final words, she commands Aki to stay alive, because when she goes, he can still cry for her. There's humanity, purity that still exists within him. And somewhere along the way, after watching so many of her comrades suffer the same fate, she decided to place the future in his hands. After shaving years off of his own life and losing his mentor, Aki lays alone in a hospital bed. It's here that we see just how desperately he's trying to cling on to his life, while watching it quickly vanish. First, he talked to the curse. How many years do I have left? 2 2 years. He immediately reaches for something to take his mind off of this. All the loss he suffered, all this inevitable fate stuff. Boom, a cigarette. Something to take the edge off. But the lighter won't work. His flame has been completely snuffed out. For the first time, we see the man who always knows what to do, the man who always has a backup plan, utterly helpless against the weight of his reality. That flame only returns when he remembers what he had. Himeno's face, her smile. Everything is piling up in Aki's mind to the point where all he can do is break down into tears. Moments like this are what set Chainsaw Man apart from any other story. You don't need Aki to say anything to know exactly what he's feeling this entire time. All of this, and we still only scratch the surface of Aki's character, because as we soon find out, Aki is not only destined to die sooner than later, but he will suffer the worst fate imaginable. Or, as the future devil puts it,
simple. You're gonna go out in the worst possible way.
Aki hears this, and he doesn't even flinch. Once he gains the abilities of the future devil, it grants him the one piece of the puzzle that he was always missing: certainty. He knows what will happen next, and he has the ability to act against it. The perfect ability for a man like him. With this new power, he's able to get his revenge on the snake girl and kill the ghost of Himeno, who leaves him with one parting gift: a cigarette with easy revenge written on it. Aki used to hate the fact that Himeno smoked, but it kept her sane in this crazy hell of a world that they live in. And that easy revenge is a reminder to take the small victories that this unforgiving world gives you. A truly poetic end to a beautiful relationship. And while Aki was gaining certainty, Denji was learning strategy. It helped him beat Katana Man, and together, he and Aki share a moment of catharsis, taking the easy revenge by repeatedly, non-stop kicking this guy in the balls until the sun came down. That's crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, Chainsaw Man. Hello? There's one more arc we need to discuss, and this is the one that made Aki's character do a complete 180. Aside from the gun devil, Angel is the devil that Aki should hate the most. Angel kills humans passively and doesn't care about anything besides his own pleasure. Angel is the polar opposite of Aki. In the old version of Aki, he would never even be seen near this guy. But now, Aki is familiar with death. Not only that, Denji and Power became two of his closest friends. He's accepted that there absolutely can be devils that are fighting on the human side. And once Aki understands that death is inevitable, but the future can be changed, he's able to stop judging people based on what they appear to be on the outside. Aki getting paired with Angel is anything but a coincidence. They're perfect mirrors to each other. Aki's partner in the Reze arc is literally an angel of death. And throughout this arc, Aki becomes softer, more open, and that allows us to see the immense weight that they're both carrying. Angel actually feels a lot of guilt. We see him apologizing to this woman's body that he's about to use to save Denji. It's a long story. If you've seen the movie. Aki and Angel change each other, and that's exactly why Aki decides to save Angel, knowing that it'll shave even more time off of his life. And we get this beautiful scene of Aki embracing Angel, embracing death. He's not just protecting, and they are embraced. They are, you feel me? Okay, so real quick, I gotta talk about the Aki and Angel ship. It is very complex because think about it. They exist on two opposing sides in many different ways. For one, the most obvious, Aki is a human, Angel is a devil. There's one layer a little bit deeper, and it's the fact that Aki represents this idea of masculinity, of this stoic, like, boots to the ground, like manly guy. And Angel is very feminine. He looks like a girl, like, let's be honest. Come on, you feel me? And I think that that's intentional because Fujimoto is very good at visual storytelling and just saying things without necessarily saying them out loud. So I do think that they have a sort of forbidden love aspect, but deeper than that, it's like the fact that they were bonded or tied together or brought together through death, through like their own relationship with death. Angel not wanting to live, not wanting to do anything, having no desire to live, and Aki wanting to live so desperately and clinging on to life, but constantly doing things to put himself in harm's way. He meets someone who's the perfect mirror to him. Angel doesn't want to live, doesn't care about life. And he's like, wait, no, life is precious. I have to protect this. So that's why he's embracing Angel in this moment. He's holding him so tight. Not because they're in love necessarily, but because of everything that their relationship represents, not only for him, not only for Angel, but for Aki. You know what I mean? His greatest weakness, his humanity, is the only reason that he's still able to connect at all in this world where his fate is already decided. He stopped running from death. He fully realized what his life's mission is. It's not to kill the gun devil. It's to protect what he still has, all the way until his very last breath. Thank you guys for watching this video all the way to the end. Drop a angel wing emoji in the comments so I know that you're a real one. I know I didn't talk about the ending of Aki's story, but that's because at the time of me recording this video, it's not animated yet. So we gonna spin the block and talk about the second half of Aki's story whenever that gets animated, probably in like 2035. So yeah, I don't know if you guys could tell, but I'm using a new editing software, so my outro has to completely change. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. One more thing, two more things actually. Join the Discord. I'll be in there. I'll be talking to y'all. And we also have a channel membership where you could join for exclusive content and early access to new videos. So if that interests you, join the channel. I know you're already subscribed. I know you already like the video. So with that being said, I'm out of here.